Captions are labels that appear under certain objects in your document. For instance, labels like Figure 1, Figure 2, Figure 3, or Map 1, Map 2, Map 3. Captions can be typed manually, but really you want to apply captions so that they automatically renumber, and also so you can create a table of figures easily. For example, I'm going to click at the end of the text initiatives on page 5, and I'm going to press enter a couple of times. I want to insert a picture that I can then caption. I'm just going to choose the Insert tab in the ribbon and clip art. And I'll search for a keyword, perhaps house. And I'll click go. Finally, I'll choose a picture and I'll insert it in my document. If I then want to apply a caption to this object, what I tend to find the easiest thing to do is to right-click the object and then left-click Insert Caption. Immediately the caption window appears and it wants to give it the label figure, but notice you can change figure to table, equation, or you can even create your own new label and call it illustration or map, whatever word is appropriate, and click OK. And now illustration is an option in my drop down. So I choose illustration and I'll keep the number 1. I can also choose to position the caption either below the item or above the item, but typically we position it below the item. I can also choose the style of numbering. If I didn't want 1, 2, 3, I might go for A, B, C, but I'll stick with 1, 2, 3 and cancel. After the illustration 1 caption, I'll put a hyphen and then I'll type house, whatever explains the particular illustration, and OK. And there's my first caption. What I might like to do is add another picture, so I'll just press enter a couple of times. To insert a second picture, I'll just go backspace. That's better. And I'll insert a second picture. This time I might grab another house. Perhaps this one. It inserts the picture, which I might then resize by dragging its bottom right corner to the center. Scroll back up to the picture, right-click the picture, and insert a caption. Notice how it's immediately gone to illustration 2, and then I'll put dash small house, and OK. And now I have a second illustration. I might decide to go up a page. Click at the end of organisational, add a couple of enters, and insert another picture, perhaps this one. Takes a little while to come in. Then I'll resize the picture, right-click the picture, and insert a caption. Notice it's gone to illustration 1 because it's above the 2 earlier illustrations, and I'll put sold house. And OK. So this is my illustration 1, and back down on the next page, this has become 2 and 3. And I might add one more. If I click at the end of advantages and disadvantages, press enter a couple of times, insert another house, wait for the picture to arrive, and then right-click the picture, insert a caption, and this is illustration 4, White House. And OK. So the beauty of captions is that they will automatically number the captions correctly, so you don't have to keep remembering what order to number your captions. Now, with these 4 captions applied, what I'd like to do is insert a table of figures. So I'll press the key combination Control Home. I'd like the table of figures to reside under the table of content, so I'm going to click under the table of content. I'll just press enter, and then I'll switch back to the normal style, just by choosing normal. I'll type table of figures, and press enter. To insert my table of figures, I'll go to the References tab in the ribbon, and what I'll do here is I'll go for Table of Figures, Insert Table of Figures here. When I click this option, it immediately picks up illustrations 1 to 5. I can choose the format, so I might choose formal, as you've discovered now it's my favourite. And I'll click OK. And immediately I have a table of figures: sold house, house, small house and white house. And it's reflecting the pages that those illustrations are on. If I go back down, I might decide to insert another picture under divisional on page 4. So I'll press enter and I'll insert another house. I'll wait for the picture to come in and then I'll resize the picture. I'll right click the picture and I'll insert a caption. And I'll click OK. Immediately, this illustration is now changed to 2 and the others will have renumbered as well. If I press Control Home to the top of my document and then go down to my table of figures, I need to update my table of figures. So I click on the table of figures and from the References tab in the ribbon, I can choose to update the table, or I could press F9. If I click Update Table and Entire Table and OK, I now have the extra illustration in my table of figures.